Welcome everybody to my video. So just to get started pretty quick here, this is the first video on my channel, but I wanted to do this video just to start off a little bit of a series going through my makeup collection and just allowing me to kind of understand what my collection looks like, what products I have, how I really feel about them, and just kind of be more mindful of what my collection is and what products I really actually need. This is kind of the beginning of a journey this year to be a bit more mindful in my consumption. I felt like I've just spent a lot of money and bought a lot of things I didn't really need, and I think a lot of it is because I don't really appreciate the stuff I already have. I don't use the stuff I already have, so I kind of want to make content that promotes it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through my collection in a couple different videos. We're starting off today with primer, and I'm just going to kind of go through each product, talk about each product, and reflect on it. So it's going to be pretty casual. I'm going to kind of show those things, but my expertise in making these videos is very low. So just kind of going through and talking about it, what I like, what I don't like, reflecting on my collection, and seeing where it lacks or where it's a bit excessive. So if you enjoy any sort of makeup collection, this isn't really a declutter, but I feel like the series in general is going to kind of be like that, then maybe you'll like this. So we're going to start off with primers, including really all sorts of primers, foundation, sunscreens, glow things, etc. So let's get into it. Alright, first product is the Neutrogena Ultra Sheer Dry Touch Foundation. I honestly don't really even categorize this as a makeup sort of primer, but I think it's a really good sunscreen for when I'm like really going out in the sun, really going to the beach. That's what this is for. That's what this is in my vanity for. So we'll really only pull it out when I'm like, I need to take sunscreen seriously. Next up, we have the Supergoop Glow Screen. I bought this kind of on a whim when I was shopping at Sephora. I thought it might be like this really glowy primer I was looking for. It is definitely glowy. I think it's a nice product. It wasn't exactly what I was hoping for, but I am happy I have it. It's a good 40 SPF, so it's actually a pretty substantial sunscreen. So it doesn't really pale, looks good under makeup, so I think it's good for a sort of makeup sunscreen, which I feel like I need in order to wear it more often. Next product is a bit of a two-in-one. These are two of the e.l.f. Primers. They're both kind of the sticky primers. I have both the e.l.f. Jelly Pop and the Power Grip Primer. This is a great example of something I did not need a backup in. I have not even finished the Jelly Pop Primer, and I have the Power Grip Primer ready on deck. I still feel like I don't really understand if this truly makes my makeup last longer, but you know, I think it's a fun product. I'm happy I have them. Will I rebuy? Maybe not. But my goal for this year is definitely to use up the Jelly Pop and then try the Power Grip Primer. At least have an idea of how they compare and if they really work for me, because if I was to repurchase them, I really need to understand those things. But I think it's fun for what it is, but definitely needs a bit more testing before I say I love it, even though I've used up a fair bit of it. But something I bought. I can't really help myself with e.l.f. There's a lot of e.l.f. products in here, so that's just another example. Fun little duo, an extra backup, which shows that you really don't need backups. Next primer is another drugstore primer. This is the Revlon Prime and Plus primer. It is a smoothing, sort of pore-filling silicone-y primer. This is one I honestly don't turn to a lot, but I feel like I pull it out when I'm looking for maybe a full coverage, perfecting look. I feel like my pores are really intense. I'm going to show it, but you really can't see the effect. But it is kind of a sticky primer too, and I'm wondering if it's reaching the end of its lifetime. But it really has like a sort of luxe feel, I would say. I kind of enjoy the general effect of it. I don't think it's super effective, but I think it feels nice. Yeah, I bought that off of a recommendation of a YouTuber. I think they said it was a dupe for either the Rare Beauty Primer or the Fenty Beauty Primer. And I think it's nice to have at least like one sort of silicone or pore filling primer in my collection. I don't think I'd repurchase it, but I think it's something I turn to sometimes when I feel like I need that effect. So nice to have. Next primer is probably my newest. I actually bought this in the new year off the recommendation of Daisy Cash. She said that this was kind of similar to the Charlotte Tilbury, what it would be, Glow Drops? Future Dew. So kind of an oily, glowy primer. As you can see, The thing I dislike the most about this primer is it comes out with so much product. It is so hard to control, but I really like the feel of this primer. It is a very comforting, moisturizing, kind of oil-based primer, and I enjoy that under my makeup. I think it definitely adds some glow. I don't think it was exactly what I was looking for in terms of like a really glowy primer that shines through the base, but I also think that I think this is a lot more multi-useful or than another primer I'd buy, so I enjoy the feeling of it. It's definitely one I think that has its own purpose, but it wasn't exactly what I was looking for, but I like it for what it is. But yeah, it also has like a nice sort of peachy texture on it, and it is definitely glowy, so good if you're looking for a similar dupe. I don't have that other product, but I've enjoyed kind of testing it through this one. Next up, this is an absolute classic, especially from the drugstore. This is the e.l.f. Halo Glow. I love this product. I honestly use it as foundation a lot of the time, just because I think it has a bit more coverage to really use underneath a foundation, but I love it. It is so glowy and makes your skin look amazing. I think it has like a tangible sort of shimmer in it, but it looks so nice. It just makes your skin look healthy and glowy, and this is an amazing dupe. e.l.f. did an amazing job. I love e.l.f. anyways, but this really, they knocked it out of the park. Couldn't recommend it enough. I know everyone says that, so this is not a new product for anybody, but it is definitely a product I appreciate in my collection. I use a lot. I rotate into it, especially when my skin is kind of dry and lifeless. So I totally recommend it. If anyone and their mother has not tried it at this point, definitely check it out. Next up, we have an interesting product. I don't even know if I use this enough as a primer to really categorize it as, but I bought this for the purpose of duping the debronzy drops or whatever from Drunk Elephant, so that's why I have it in this category. This is the Clinique Face Jelly. It is a deep sort of bronzing sheer product. It really blends out into nothing. It looks amazing. It also stains really well. I think this is a very multifaceted product. I have used it as bronzer. I have used it to mix in and make me look bronzed. I have used it as like a primer. I don't really think I use this enough or really have a need for a product like this. I don't fake tan or anything, but it is a fun product to have, and I think that there is a lot I gain from it. So I enjoy it for what it is. I don't use it a lot, nor do I think I'll go through it quickly, but probably not something I really need in my collection, but it's kind of a fun product. So, quick section on the mini primers. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream. I got this as a point perk, and I enjoy it. I actually haven't even used it up, so it goes to show you how valuable these mini primers are. I find it super moisturizing, very light. It's not anything that really stands out to me, and it's probably the most expensive product I could buy in terms of primers, so just kind of a fun product to have. But I want to emphasize, I think these mini primers, I realized I had them and pulled them out for this. I think they're a great value. I mean, I haven't even gone through half of these, especially considering how much makeup I have. And I think it's a great way to test it rather than, for example, buying the Supergoop product right off the bat without testing it. So that's the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream. I also have the Hourglass Vanish Primer, I believe. I got this as a gift with purchase. It kind of feels like a silicone-y sort of filling base. Maybe not a product I really would buy, but it's a pretty great product for what you get. I also have the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. Guys, this particular size is such a deal. I have not used this up in a whole year. I just bought another one when that kit came on sale. I love this primer. It's probably my all-time favorite in this. I don't know, it's a tough battle, but it's so moisturizing. It just is a great way to just like neutralize the base. So that is the primer. Okay, to kind of reflect on my primers, I think pulling everything out in the video, maybe to a regular person, you might disagree with me, but I don't believe this is as excessive as I feared, especially in comparison to some of my other makeup categories that I will show in these videos. I think this is a pretty pared down collection. I also think that the travel size primers I've chosen to purchase for some of the more expensive primers and have kind of received and used up is a habit I want to continue. I think it's a great way to try out these primers before committing. And also, as I found with the Magic Cream and the Bobbi Brown, I mean, I don't use these up in over a year, and makeup you know, it does have expiry dates, but obviously not a lot of people follow them. But if I was to follow them, and perhaps that's a goal again, I think I would. The only way I could realistically use up a primer, given the amount of makeup I have, is in these travel size containers. So that's a big habit I want to continue. And one of my favorite primers is in travel size, and again, haven't used it up, so I feel really good about that. I think that's great. Some other reflections, I think backups, especially in primers, or buying something you want to try just so it's lined up for the next one, not a good habit, not something I want to continue. It's something I did with those e.l.f. primers, and I've kind of discovered that maybe I don't like it, but also even more so, I don't even want to try it anymore, if that makes sense. Like, those sort of sticky base primers really aren't even what's exciting and fun to try anymore. Like, that e.l.f. Power Grip primer is like old news. And not like I am buying products to just try things and be trendy, but I think that is kind of what we want to do with makeup. Like, we want to just try the fun things and be with it. And, you know, because of that choice I made, I now have a primer ready to go that I'm like never going to use up. For a primer I already have been unable to use up. And it's not something I'm like excited to get into. And again, it wasn't even a product I knew I liked when I bought it. So I think I probably bought it because of a sale, whatever, it doesn't matter. Just a bit wasteful, not something I needed. I think something I do like about my collection is the variety of primers. I think I've kind of purchased the realm of primers I could need. I was kind of talking about how I really want like a super glowy metallic highlighter, and that's certainly true, but I think a small size of that would probably be the way to go. Maybe a points perk, a sample, because again, I don't think I'd use it that often, and I don't want to buy something that I'm not going to use a ton, especially again with my collection and my goals for this year. In terms of favorite primers, just for your benefit, I love the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. I think it's so good. I also really enjoy the Milani primer. It's been a lot of fun. Just a nice moisturizing sort of serum-y feel on the face. It feels really good, really luxe. And I love the e.l.f. Halo Glow. I mean, everyone loves it for a reason. I think it's a great product, especially if you are someone who's not interested in doing like a crazy amount of makeup. I think this is just like such a beautiful base. But yeah, so that is kind of my reflection here today on the primers in my collection. This was a small start to the video, but I wanted to start small and just kind of work through everything. I think it's fun seeing collections, but I also think it's fun to kind of be really mindful, and I think this is a fun way to connect it and good way to kind of start producing some content, making, creating, whatever. Some content that will be a little bit, I just want to make like content that can help me stick to my goals and not make me want to buy a ton of things or consume a ton of things or feel like I need to buy whatever the latest thing is. I want to kind of make content and hopefully help other people not feel that way as well. Just kind of be a channel where you can feel like you're not going to be constantly promoted to buy things, and just feel like you have a sort of community that's also looking through their collection, enjoying what they have, reflecting, and yeah, just talking about makeup. So that is it for today's video. The next video will be foundations, and we'll just kind of slowly go through the collection. I will warn you, some categories are going to be excessive. I have been like reflecting on this, and when I think about like the blush category, I'm like, oh my god, it's so bad. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Feel free to subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Thanks.